You stopped laughing before anyone asked you to. Somewhere along the way, you decided seriousness was the price of being taken seriously. That lightness was something you'd return to later, after the difficult part was over, after you'd proven whatever it is you're trying to prove, after you finally became the person you're supposed to be. So you waited, and the waiting became the life. Your face tightened, your shoulders learned the weight. You started treating every problem like a courtroom and every conversation like a deposition. You began to confuse heaviness with maturity and exhaustion with proof that you cared. In 1942, a Dutch woman named Etty Hillesum was living inside a Nazi transit camp in Westerbork. She was 28. Every week, trains pulled out of that camp carrying people who would never return. She watched, she documented it in her notebooks. And in the same pages where she recorded the worst of what humans can do to other humans, she wrote about Jasmine, still flowering in the mud. Not despite the mud, inside it. She was deported to Auschwitz in 1943. She did not survive. But for Etty, joy was never a feeling she happened to have when conditions allowed it. It was a decision she made before the conditions changed. The Dolphin made the same decision, long before she was born. The Dolphin is not the animal you were shown. You were sold a postcard, the leaping, the clicking, the trained performance in a chlorinated tank. That image was built to entertain you. It hid the real animal completely. The bottlenose dolphin carries the second highest encephalization quotient of any mammal alive. Its neocortex, the layer responsible for self-recognition, language, and abstract thought, is more deeply folded than the human one. It enters REM sleep. It mourns. It recognizes itself in a mirror. It carries a signature whistle that functions almost like a personal name, stable across an entire lifetime. It lives in salt water but breathes air. Every few minutes, no matter the depth, no matter the danger, no matter the prey it's tracking, it must rise. Even when it sleeps, only half the brain rests. The other half stays awake enough to find the surface. Half awake, half resting, still alive. This animal has been navigating the ocean for tens of millions of years. It has outlasted predators that no longer exist, and storms that no record remembers. And it plays, not occasionally, constantly, obsessively. It rides the wakes of ships it will never see again. It manufactures rings of bubbles underwater and swims through them for no reason your spreadsheet would accept. It tosses seaweed back and forth with another dolphin in a game that produces no food, no mate, no status, no measurable gain. The dolphin is not playful because the ocean is kind. The dolphin is playful because the ocean is lethal. So what does it know that you stopped knowing? The ocean is pressure, hunger, predators, darkness, distance, and constant motion. There is no floor under the dolphin's feet, no permanent shelter at the end of the day, no safe room to lock the door behind, and the dolphin surfs, not because the wave solves hunger, not because the wave removes the predator, not because the ocean became kind for one afternoon. The wave is still powerful enough to crush. The timing still has to be exact. The body still has to read the curve perfectly, but the dolphin does something you tend to forget how to do. It enters danger without becoming identical to danger. That is not childish. That is mastery. You believe survival requires emotional stiffness. You believe your seriousness is what proves you understand reality. So you wait for the storm to end before you allow yourself anything that isn't useful. The dolphin will not wait that long. It can't afford to. A tense body wastes motion. A panicked body misreads signals. A bitter body becomes blind to openings. The dolphin survives because it stays responsive, and responsiveness is built out of looseness, not rigidity. Joy in that body is not escape. Joy is coordination. Maybe joy is not what happens after the storm passes. Maybe joy is how a living thing keeps enough looseness to keep moving inside it. What would change if you stopped waiting for permission? When a dolphin pod shifts into play, something measurable changes in the way they speak to each other. The frequency rises, the rhythm of the whistles shortens. Dolphins within range begin to match, not in response to any command, but because the state itself is transmissible. Joy moves through the pod the way a current moves through water. One body begins it. Other bodies catch it. Baruch Spinoza spent most of his adult life as a man no one was permitted to speak to. Excommunicated from the Jewish community of Amsterdam at 23, he ground lenses in a back room to survive and turned every remaining hour toward one philosophical obsession, the nature of joy. He wrote that joy is the passage of a being from a lesser to a greater perfection, not a feeling, a movement, a direction, a measurable increase in the power to act. The Dolphin never read Spinoza. It just transmits the proof. If joy increases the power to act, and if joy moves through a group by design, then every time you suppress your own lightness in the name of being serious, you are not being responsible. You are subtracting something from everyone close enough to receive it. What have you been transmitting? The dolphin plays in water where sharks live, not after checking that the sharks are gone, not in the brief window when the danger has passed. In the same water, in the same moment. You are still waiting for the conditions to be safe enough before you allow yourself anything worth feeling. The dolphin never received that instruction, and it has outlasted every predator that ever tried to end it. Joy is not what you feel when the threats finally stop. Joy is what keeps you sharp enough to read the water while they're still circling. The dolphin learned this so long ago that it doesn't remember learning it. You forgot it last Tuesday. A dolphin will spend hours tossing a piece of seaweed back and forth with another dolphin. It gains no food. It gains no rank. It will not be remembered for it. It does it because the act of sharing a useless motion is what keeps the bond unbroken for the day the sharks arrive. Play is not the reward of the strong. Play is what builds them. The dolphin can dive, but it must return. That is the whole architecture. No matter how deep it goes, no matter what it's chasing, no matter how skilled the hunt, the dolphin cannot pretend the body does not need air. No amount of competence cancels the design. You do the opposite. You dive into work, worry, ambition, comparison, fear, duty, pressure, unanswered messages, and unfinished things. You stay down longer than the body was built to stay. Then you act surprised when your inner world starts burning for oxygen. The dolphin knows better. The dolphin is a voluntary breather. Every single breath it takes is a conscious decision. If it slips into a deep, unconscious sleep, it drowns, which means joy, for this animal, cannot be an accident. It cannot be something that happens to it when the conditions allow. It is a daily, deliberate claim on life made at the surface again and again for 40 or 60 years. You treat your happiness as a consequence of your circumstances. The dolphin treats its joy as its oxygen. Joy was the condition, never the reward. Look at the animal you are being shown. Tens of millions of years on this planet. A neocortex more deeply folded than your own. Sonar precise enough to read what no eye can see. A nervous system that mourns its dead and lingers near the body. A social architecture more coordinated than most human cities. A signature whistle that functions like a name, stable across decades. And at the center of all of it, joy. Not as decoration, not as luxury, structural. Strip joy out of this animal and it begins to fail. Its immune function weakens, its problem-solving collapses, its social bonds fray. A dolphin without play is a dolphin that does not survive long. You were built with the same architecture. This is not philosophy. This is what the research has been saying for decades. Human beings deprived of play, of genuine, purposeless, joyful engagement, show measurable cognitive decline, immune suppression, and social collapse. And yet you treat your own joy as something to be earned. Scheduled, justified, apologized for. Look at the precision of this creature one more time. The hydrodynamic body, the acoustic intelligence, the transmissible emotion, the deliberate breath. A system this exact, working under pressure this great, for a span of time this vast. That is not the signature of accident. Where there is design, there is a designer. And whoever designed this animal did not place joy at the end of the work, as a reward you reach when everything is finally solved. They placed joy at the beginning, as the fuel. Every time you postponed your own lightness in the name of discipline, you were not being responsible. You were draining your own engine. Tomorrow morning the world will demand your seriousness again. The unfinished work, the difficult person, the silent fear, the heavy first hour of the day. But you have seen the water break now. You know the animal that lives in pressure and still leaps. You know what kept it alive for tens of millions of years, and it was not the grim face. Lightness is not the absence of trouble, it is the presence of a choice. Unclench your hands, take your breath, the water is waiting.